Right. I hope everyone has the same understanding. Can you guys see the screen? Hello?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes, Shyamok, right? Okay. So, can you just quickly take us through what was your thoughts? You can read from the screen, and I'll simultaneously give feedback, and others can also add their points. Okay, so why we are doing it in the group, so we can learn from each other's positive point and obviously what needs improvement. Main thing, as I always say, is about understanding the question. The question was here whether that cybersecurity is an strategic matter. So we need some points for and against, right? And you just will discuss that point you said, about the email. So it is always an email. It is never that you have to do in a certain way. Even if it is a report or something, you'll start in the same structure. You have to mention two: finance director, CEO, chairperson from SFM, senior finance manager, and you can write subject. Right.
Yes. So how I saw it was, I'm a senior finance manager, so I'm coming to understand how this cyber breach or IT system will affect the business basically, and coming up with recommendation. That's how I saw it. So I was thinking in terms of how it will affect the business. So as you can see from my answer, when I first spoke about it, I spoke about IP exposure, so intellectual property exposure. So this will affect the business, how it will affect the revenue, how it will affect shareholders. That's the point of view I took it on as. So I was trying to explain how if we lose out on the breach because of IP, our intellectual property will be released through the IT breach. If someone gets hold of it, it basically sets us back when it comes to innovation, because this industry, EV industry, is all about innovation. The first person to come up with a new battery
No,
technology,
it's
new design.
generalized. Can you just go through the points? Did you review your answer?
Yeah,
Did you read it after you complete?
not all of them, but some of them.
I don't need generalized. Okay, otherwise let me read.
Okay.
Okay. So with the recent cyber breach at Cewmlator, it represents a critical governance and strategic issue rather than a routine operational failure. Okay, so what is this? This is a fact, right? If anyone is confused with any point, please stop. Okay, this should be for everyone. So this is a fact. Good job with starting with the fact, and this is an introduction. So when it is 60%, our mindset should be okay. I'll give a small intro, then I'll give some points in favor. Let's say 3 points and 3 points in against, or maybe 2 points in favor, 2 points in against, and a recommendation. Right? Okay. So you start with the fact, that is like what has happened. Okay. As an EV manufacturer heavily reliant on advanced digital system, data integration, intellectual property, Cewmlator's IT infrastructure forms a core strategic asset. Okay, so why it is important? This is a mix of what and why. Therefore, evaluating whether the bridge is a matter of strategic importance requires consideration for its implications on competitiveness, stakeholder confidence, and long-term value creation. Okay, very good introduction. Everything is applied to the scenario and the industry. So usually introduction, if you're just writing a sentence and all, we might not get marks, but here you can get 1 to 2 marks. We'll give you the marking also later on. I hope everyone can set a tone like this, like an introduction. If any questions, you can stop me. Okay. Now we are going in favor. So IP, you're referring to intellectual property, right? IP exposure and risk. From a strategic perspective, this capability is a key enabler of innovation and differentiation in the EV industry. So you are saying if we have good cybersecurity, it can give us a innovation. How it will be improving our innovation? Or you're saying, is it about safeguarding the innovation?
It's more about safeguarding the innovation. Yeah.
Right. So just we need to be a little clear with that. Then the breach exposed IP vehicle design, software code, and supplier framework. I think this is from the question. These are important assets that underpin Cewmlator's innovation competitive position. So this is the same thing in the first slide. The compromise of these assets directly threatens competitive advantage and intellectual property protection. This sentence, this two and the first sentence looks very difficult. I mean, very similar. This could be major setback for the company that is exposes their ideas, which can be leaked to the public and competitors affecting revenue and shareholders. So this is more about the facts, what has happened, or maybe how it will affect. One thing is missing here. What is that thing missing? Who will answer this? Or Said, you only answer this first. What is missing in this paragraph?
I'm not too sure.
Others? What is missing in this paragraph? I hope everybody can hear this. Nitish, Divesh, Naisa, Pallavi.
Mitigation, how factor maybe.
Okay.
How we can mitigate maybe that one.
What else? That is also correct. What else is missing? Right. So main thing
Why?
is you have to justify how making this and strategic matters will solve this problem. Or you have to link to the actual question. What is the actual question? Why this should be in strategic matters? So what you are saying is this will improve our innovation, this will improve our differentiation. But one sentence is missing here, that how it will benefit if it becomes a strategic matter. So maybe a sentence can be added. So all of this points like innovation, differentiation is strategic issue for our or is a very critical issue for our board members. Hence, making this in strategic matters will reduce our IP exposure and risk. You have to justify how this, or you have to explain the how part of it. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Otherwise, well and good. So two things to improve. One is this sentence number 3 and 4, and the first looks very similar. And the justification. Okay, moving on to the next one. Operational and risk management. Don't put risk again and again. Here you have said IP exposure and risk, then again operational and risk management consideration. You can just say risk management here. Here you can say reduce exposure or proper. You want to talk about innovation. So, or you can say about core competency here, as you are saying, it is giving us a differentiation and all. Try to keep your heading in 2 words maximum. That's easier. You don't need to write in sentence because obviously the reader will go through all the points. You don't need to explain everything in the sentence. All right. So looking at it from a risk point of view, the breach reflects a breakdown in internal control, specifically inadequate access, governance, and effective monitoring of privileged accounts as stated in the extract. Okay, this is a good point. Cybersecurity issue at this scale can paralyze operation, disrupt supply chain coordination, and expose the business to regulatory penalties under data protection laws. Moreover, EV manufacturing involves integration with third-party digital platforms, example dealership and EV charges, amplifying cyber risk through internet system. Okay, good point. Such weakness threaten business continuity and stakeholder trust. This is central to strategic resilience and therefore evaluate breach of strategic significance. Very good. You see the last sentence here, right? It was really good. I hope others have also understood the difference, the previous one and this one. This is a very good paragraph. No need to change anything. Even the quantity is very good. All the things are there. You have mentioned the what part of it, what is the fact, how part of it. You have a link to the examples or the scenarios which can affect from this. Okay, this is a very good thing. No changes in this paragraph. Now financial implications, or maybe one thing you can write like in favor in header, then to, then against to, or like this also is fine. Financial implications. Financially, cyber breaches carry both immediate and long-term cost. Immediate impact includes system restoration expenses, potential legal settlements, and operational downtime. Longer term loss of property technology can lead to diminished future revenue and valuation impairment. Okay. In the context of Cewmlator, whose market share depends on technological innovation and digital trust, such a breach may trigger share price volatility and investor caution. Hence, from a financial strategy perspective, or you can say the financial perspective, safeguarding information asset is equivalent to protecting shareholder value, reinforcing the breach strategic nature. Okay. Here also indirectly you have justified. So this point is also good. No changes. Now moving on to the third one, argument against it being of strategic.
So you could tell he's a little bit imbalanced. I put 3 against and 1 for because I couldn't think of other ones or 4. Is that okay, or does it have to always be balanced?
I think you can do 3:2, but 3 and 1, I don't think it's a balanced answer, because the question says directly, right, for and against. Maybe you can be a little biased and you can be in favor of strategic matters. So 3:2 is fine. Or maybe if this situation comes up in exam, what you can do, let's say you are out of time. So you can make a small introduction, you can make a small recommendation, or maybe trim down one sentence from all the paragraphs and come up with another paragraph against that. As we discussed in the class, we would have talked about the cost, you should have talked about the commitment from the board, you have talked about inexperience and the resources, isn't it? So many points were there we discussed in the session itself. So what was your main problem, Sid? Was it a point? Was it a time?
I think it was point, because I wanted to do it without looking at the class notes. I wanted to do it straight from my head. That's why. Maybe if I looked at the class notes, then obviously I will have more points.
Right.
But yes,
it was an easier topic to come up with points, or maybe you should have just divided this into 2. Anyways, so conversely, one could argue that whilst severe the incident may remain primarily operational, if it affects our short-term our content, should Cewmlator's core competitive advantage stem from manufacturing capability, supply chain scale, or brand loyalty rather than digital asset. The breach may not alter its long-term strategic trajectory. So you can say, we should focus on our core areas. That becomes your 1 point. Effective crisis management, robust recovery protocols, and acquisition of cybersecurity expertise such as proposed trust layer X acquisition could restore stability without requiring major strategic measures.
That's another question I wanted to ask. You know how I mentioned trust layer there? It's mentioned in the case study. It's mentioned in the case study as a material later on. I don't know if I'm allowed to bring in material from later on into this question.
No, you are not. I was about to come
so
to
you
that
have to
point.
follow it in structure. You have to follow in structure in order.
Because the reason is you can't see the next task. So how you can bring it? You can't go to the next task. You have to do one by one.
Okay, that's fine.
You're not allowed to see that, and if you want to see that, will not come back. So
I could just say maybe they could just look at other acquisitions and then not mention trust layer, for example.
You can say in another way, we discussed last time, like we can look for certain acquisition. We can get a IT director, a CIO, like that.
Okay, thank you.
So what you would have done is, in the same points, you can make it into 2. One is like stick to core areas, and second is get a responsible person to that. Okay. In conclusion, given Cewmlator's heavy reliance on digital integration, data-driven design, and tech innovation, the breach represents an operational risk and strategic issues. It undermines intellectual property protection, stakeholder confidence, and governance credibility. No need to remove all these points again and again. The board should treat cybersecurity as a strategic pillar, not just an IT function. Actions should include strengthening enterprise-wide cyber resilience, integrating cybersecurity into strategic planning, and communicating transparently with stakeholders to rebuild trust and enforce Cewmlator's digital integration. Okay, good point. So overall, your answer is good. Only thing is the balance need to be improved.
Okay, thank you.
And if you just look at this particular task, it's good enough to score the minimum, Okay, now move to the second. Any question, others? Any points? Please don't be on mute. Why we are doing this in groups so everyone can have certain point. Is it giving you guys some ideas? What points can be added? How the writing style can be done? You don't need to copy this style, obviously, but some points.
Yeah, because as I was telling you, they on call that the field where I am coming, I don't write much, so my writing is too rough. This just looks like very refined to me, like very professional. If you will see mine later on, you will see what the hell I have write it down, because mine is not look like that much refined one. See, it's giving me such a good idea what words I can add up more, how I can write it down. So it's really helpful to me.
Okay, thank you. So Divesh, you don't need to write in a same way. If you write a simple English in simple word that make sense, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's move on to the second one. Recommend with reasons the Intel controls that group. So this was a very straightforward question. I'm not going through in detail with the question because we have discussed task 1. Once we go to task 2, we have to discuss the question as well. Okay. Recommend with reasons the Intel control that can be implemented to manage cyber risk in future. The cyber breach at Cewmlator's revealed fundamental control weakness in system access monitoring escalation. Effective Intel should not only prevent future incident but also align strategic resilience, regulatory compliance, and stakeholder confidence. Okay. So what is the first point you have said? Access and identity management control. Or you can just write access control, access and management control. Try to keep it small. Cewmlator should implement role-based access control and multi-factor authentication to restrict system privileges strictly according to job responsibilities. This will prevent unauthorized access to sensitive data such as proprietary design and software code. In addition, adopting a zero trust architecture ensures every user, device, and application is verified continuously regardless of location. This measure strengthens preventive controls by limiting entry points and reducing dependency on individual users' credentials, which directly addressing the weakness that allowed the breach test. Okay, makes sense. So good part here is we are applying everything to scenario. We are not talking in a theoretical perspective. We should know how to affect our particular business model. Second is system and incident response team. Continuous monitoring through security, information, event management. System should be introduced to detect anomalies and trigger automation alerts for suspicious activity. Establishing a dedicated SOC security operations center will allow 24/7 oversight, immediate investigation, coordination, response to emerging threats. This must be completed by clear incident protocol, periodic penetration testing, similar cyber risk drills to ensure. So you have given so many points. In heading, you are saying about response monitoring. Now you're talking about uh, penetration testing and all. I mean, this is correct.
This was about like training staff and testing the staff and like indirectly training basically.
Right, right. I understand. However, sometimes if you try to bring everything in one paragraph, you might have issue in coming up with the next point. If you have enough point in your mind, you can bring in. That's not a problem. For example, here we have said penetration testing. Maybe penetration testing can become a point of its own. You can say we can use ethical hackers and do the penetration testing to find out the vulnerabilities what we have in a system. Right?
Yes, makes sense.
It's just about
basically
our
too much in one point.
Yes, if you have enough data, if you have enough points, so you can mix up. Or if you don't have, don't bring in all this. Keep it for the next paragraph. For now, just try to give examples. These directives and corrective controls will provide early visibility and faster containment of cyber threats. Okay. Like in previous one, you have talked about that and you have linked to the scenario. Here, it's a little bit of theory. So you can reduce some technical aspect and apply to the business. Give an example. That will make it very good. Example from our business. Like you can say we have a major amount of our employees working in R&D. So they should be the first one to get trained for this. Next,
Could I
please.
mention? Could I mention like we got factories in different areas like Duxland, Eastland, and that's why when people are remote, we need to make sure that controls are in place.
Definitely, yes. That's a good point. That should have been it. Okay. Then governance and culture. How many paragraphs you have put in? Is three. Technically, it should be four, but uh, paragraphs are good in quantity, but still, it's better to make it for cybersecurity should be embedded governance, culture, and assurance control. Again, 3 points. Cybersecurity should be embedded into Cewmlator's governance framework through a board-level cyber risk committee, supported by regular internal audit reviews of IT controls and supplier security compliance. Training programs must foster a risk-aware culture, ensuring all employees recognize cybersecurity as a part of operational responsibility. Finally, periodic assurance reporting to the board will demonstrate compliance with regulatory expectations and safeguard stakeholder trust. Together, this controls will transform cybersecurity from reactive ID function to an integrated. Okay, this supports and aligns with assurance. This is also good. Only one suggestion for last two paragraph is firstly make this 2 into 3. That is so much of information, and points are not connected. It looks like we are talking and showing more of our technical knowledge, but we'll get more marks if we apply to the scenario. If you give an example how it will help in our business in simulator, rather than just putting the name. If you give an example, if you give specific, like you said, in different countries, or you can say now we need to have a proper controls. The risk committee can come up with special policy relating to cybersecurity. So that will improvise the answer. This also correct, but that can improvise.
One thing, Misbah, I watched a video the other day from CIMA. They were saying how we should approach it as if we are interviewing for that company. So imagine you going for an interview and you getting asked these questions. How would you apply it to the company? Is this true?
I mean, that's a good way of looking at it, but I personally will not say think of an interview, because if you're thinking about an interview, you are just looking out for your role. I would say think like you are the CEO, maybe, because every area is our responsibility now. Think like a leader, think like a member of a board, because you're working with the board. What they have given in the summary and introduction, you work directly with the board. So think like you are one of them, because you're helping them to take the decision. Or maybe they wanted to say the same thing and they have put it in a different. It's more about understanding the audience. Who's your audience? I mean, who you are talking to? You're talking to the board of directors. So board of directors will never think just about the finance department. They will think about the entire organization. Make sense?
Yes, thank you.
I have a question for Said. So, like, I'm really impressed like how your answer is there. Like you have so much of technical content there, and I really want to know how did you come up, or how did you, not come up, but how did you remember these points, or how did you prepare for an answer like this? Like, it's really, really good in terms of technical content.
So the technical stuff I've learned at my role in at work. So
Okay.
that's majority of it. So that's majority of it. But in ISO 2700 framework, it's quite a
Mm-hmm.
common framework. I did the F3 and P3 revision that Misbah has sent the videos. That helped a lot. So
Right.
that helped stick in my mind. Another thing is Porter's five forces and SWOT analysis has come up a lot. When I was thinking about it a lot when I was doing this paper, and it comes
Mm-hmm.
up a lot in past papers because I was looking at past papers doing the SWOT and the five Porter's forces.
Mm-hmm.
It comes up a lot, and you can apply it to a lot of these questions. So doing those two things will help a lot. That's what I
All right.
found.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
Right. So shall we move on to the second task now?
Misbah, would it be good if we go through question task 1 for everyone, so
Yeah,
we
even I
can
was
keep it fresh?
thinking that. Yeah, I think that's better because this point will be fresh, right? Okay. So Divesh, can you share the screen? Hello, Divesh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just sharing.
So if you don't mind, you can just read also paragraph by paragraph, so then I can give the point.
So I took like 1.5 hours to write. I just write it
Yeah.
in.
So just one second. How much time you took, Said, to write that the first task? Did you do entire mock in one sitting, or
Yes, I did the entire mock in one sitting.
how much time?
It took probably about, I'll say about 3 hours, 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours.
Yes.
Okay. 30 minutes extra. No problem. Considering the first mock, little flexibility, the time is fine. Okay. Yes, Divesh, that's a good thing you wrote the time, and you just did first tasks, right? I mean, one
Yeah,
task.
like first task and second, I was about to write at 12:05. I took 5 minute break, but then I saw class is going to start at 1 o'clock. So I didn't write, but what I am going to write, I write it down all points of it here. So this is what I'm going to write in detail. I won't be changing anything because in
Okay.
my mind I know what I want to write. So it's done. I didn't go did task 3 because I wanted to write task 2 first.
Okay. Okay. No problem. So just take us through the first point. So I think we don't need to read the question. You can just
Mm-hmm.
read what you have written exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And after each paragraph, I'll give my points, and others can also add their suggestions. Yeah.
Yeah. Argument for strategic importance, legal and compliance. Cewmlator is one of the leading company in EV industry and highly reliable on IP, Internet of Things, and cybersecurity. It is our responsibility to have a strong internal control over the IT infrastructure of the company. As we know that we had a cyber breach from internally, that indicates that we are lacking in this part of the in this part and needed to be improved, as the Australian government is very strict about the cybersecurity regulations, and if this news goes out, we may face some penalty which would impact our reputation and will affect the share prices. From example, Tesla had over the air system breach in EU and they faced the penalty from EU government. So discussing the cyber breach at a board level can reduce this risk by evaluating the factors by introducing more internal controls.
Right. So this is a very good thing. You're saying your English and everything was messed up. I don't see any problem. This is a very good standard. You should follow this. Okay, and you should be proud what you have written.
Okay.
It's really make sense, and it's very good. The
Uh,
only
the,
thing I'm trying to see as the last sentence, what you're saying is discussing the cyber breach at board level can reduce the risk by evaluating the factors by introducing the more. So don't bring in internal controls because that is a subtask too. Okay, don't
yeah.
put this word. So you can say discussing the cyber breach at, or make it straightforward for you and for the marker also. So discussing the cyber breach at a strategic level or as a strategic level issue will improve
Help,
or
yeah.
will manage this legal and compliance issues.
Hmm.
Simple as that.
Yeah, my another question is that once I have seen Said Ali like the answer,
Mhm.
he put more like Cewmlator or this or company name.
Mhm.
What I am trying to write it down as because in a present they have mentioned that you are working there, you are the senior finance manager. So if I write it down as a we, our company, would it be helpful? Because this is how I'm thinking to write it down, which help me to write more. Because if I will just write
Honestly, if I tell you these are small things, don't worry. If you like write simulator, if you write we or we are one of the leading company, this thing doesn't matter. Both are the same.
yeah, because
No
it
need
helps.
to
Yeah,
overthink these small issues. It doesn't matter.
yeah,
The only thing
like
I can
yeah.
see that matter is the quantity. You have done a good quantity in the first para, and second one looks just half.
I didn't. I don't know what to write, so that's why I just write what came. That's why I put here on my note as well what I did in my first task again. Like I got confused in first subtask one what to write.
So
That's
this
why.
was a good point, fast decision. You can just come up with so
Mhm.
many things like you came up with the Tesla. You can say the same example.
Mhm.
A lot of our industry components like Tesla and BYD, they have taken this very seriously,
Mhm.
and it is helping them to manage this risk properly. Or
Mhm.
you can say in different industries, come up with a generalized statement
Yeah.
if you're struggling to come up with the points. Okay, let's
Mhm.
see what you have written.
Yeah. So second point is fast decision. If we consult the board in internal cyber breach related issue, that will not just speed up the decision, but it will also speed up the process of mitigation this risk breach issue. Our board will be able to mitigate this risk very quickly as they may have the already mitigations plan for scenarios like this in the risk register. I guess this is very basic, but I didn't come up with any more points. I just write it down. It's very
Okay.
basic, I know.
So first thing is about the last point. If
Mm-hmm.
something is risk registered, then it will be mitigated. We have the
Mm-hmm.
operational team. The board doesn't need to take care of the risk register. So factually, last point you can change.
Mm-hmm.
So what is risk register? Risk register is something which we are managing internally, and all the risks that have been put in the register should be managed, should be
Mm-hmm.
accountable. It cannot be left idle, and definitely board doesn't have time to go into that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you can say in the last one is our board will be able to mitigate this risk. Just say quickly, no need to use the word very
Mm-hmm.
quickly, as they might have already experienced similar things,
Mm-hmm.
as we have a diversified portfolio of our board members
Yeah.
that you can mention. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And regarding the quantity, you can have you can just bring in the facts. You can say we are number 3 in the world,
Mm-hmm.
therefore we need to be fast. We
Mm-hmm.
are having operations in multiple countries, therefore we need to be fast. We need to maintain our competitive position, therefore we need to be fast.
Mm-hmm.
And if we are not fast, how being slow can affect our reputation with our stakeholders, how it can affect our relationship with our suppliers, vendors, customers.
Mm-hmm.
So many points you can bring in. I
Yeah.
don't
Now,
think
yeah.
that you lack points. This happened with a lot of students. This is about we put lot of controls and filters in our mind when we're writing.
Yeah.
I think you did that.
Yeah. The problem, as I was saying beginning of the class, that I found where I am lacking now. Like subtask 2 was about acquiring a company. I didn't think about it, what I'm writing. Like when I'm making a point as well. But when I come like this discussion area, this is where I got confused. What to write, what not to write. Like overthinking. I'm
If
overthinking
you are getting
basically.
confused, just write whatever comes to your mind. If
Yeah.
some points are not correct, let's say you have written this point risk creator, it is not exactly correct, but you
Mhm.
have nothing to lose. There is no negative mark,
Yeah.
and this is a common problem with most of the students. They are overthinking and not writing. Just write whatever you think of. If you are confused, bring in from the
Yeah.
pre-scene.
Yeah.
Just justify. We are a big company, so we need fast decision. We are leading in. We are number 3. We need fast decision. We have
Mhm.
diversified operations in different countries, so we need to be quick.
Okay. Yeah. No worries. Thank you for your help.
So
Yeah.
you should have 3 points. You have done only 2 in
Yeah.
favor.
It was 50 percentage. So I put like
60%.
2 point here,
It was
two
60,
point
I think.
here. No, I guess I'm not sure.
It
Anyway.
was 60.
Okay. I might have seen wrong then. Sorry. Okay, I
Yeah,
will
it's
make sure
basic
next time.
mistake to see that wrong. So don't get nervous.
Yeah.
And did you review? I told that we need to take maximum 55 minutes to do this task.
No, I didn't do because
So
I was overtime, so I didn't do. But next time, night, likewise in subtask, like task 2, I will try to take 55 minutes and review it. Try to finish it under
if you
60.
have taken 90 minutes here, you can take 75 in the second one. It's fine if you cannot remove 30 minutes directly. But
Mhm.
5 minutes before you should go and read the task, then
Yeah.
read the question. Now
Yep.
you are on the right direction. Sometimes what happen, the direction can also change.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay.
Right?
Another point is argument against strategic importance,
Hmm.
lack of expertise, Cewmlator lacked the key person at the board level, which is the IT director. Without having him at the board level, our board would not be able to help to or mitigate this IT breach issue easily, as it required technical skills and knowledge to understand which our current board is missing. Without having such a skills like IT at a board, they may misjudge this risk and make things go worse than expected. Instead of that, board can hand over this responsibility to IT managers to resolve and keep update about the situation. Could help Cewmlator to reduce the risk of happening IT breach again.
Okay, so one second, one second. What time such skill ID word they misjudge the risk of anything. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Then another point is no operational disruptions. Cewmlator has faced the IT breach internally for vehicle IP supply integration frameworks, etc. But the operation has not been impacted or stopped. So this is the operational issue, and in that, no board need to involve as an operational team or management level can resolve the issue and inform the board about the resolve plan. If both directly involved, there will be a conflict of objectivity and operational and management team will be disappointed. As operation is still running, we should not involve the board, but operation team need to investigate the IT breach and how it occurred and what was the reason behind. I guess I type it down one sentence twice. I feel like, yeah, in different way around.
That's what we need to do in the review. But it's fine.
Yeah.
You're going correct. Okay. Conclusion.
Conclusion. From my above evaluation, I suggest that we should not bring the attention of a board directly, as our operation has not been impacted, as well as our board is also lacking the IT knowledge. But we can keep inform the board about the situations and how we are resolving the IT breach. As board also have many other areas to look after, and if we also involve them into the operations issues and it may get delayed our board. I guess I didn't write correctly here. It may get delayed. Our board will not be able to focus at all areas. So I might have write slightly wrong. This is a half sentence, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, so just if you review, you can solve all this problem. Honestly, I mean, one more paragraph would have been better, maybe in favor and a little bit in the quantity. Otherwise, it's good. It's
Okay.
decent enough to cross that 52 marks to clear the exam.
Okay.
But if we go like this, it's too risky. We don't want to be,
Yeah.
there are a lot of silly mistakes that can be improved.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But overall, on the right direction. Good job.
Yeah.
This is a good answer. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You sound a little underconfident in the start of the class, but it's good.
Mhm.
Others, if you have any points, you can also mention. Shiva has joined. Shiva, I hope you are following. We are discussing the first task.
Yeah, task one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Josna, I hope you are also following. Okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
So subtask to recommendation for improved internal control to manage cyber risk. First is improve access governance. We know that the internal IT breach was occurred by not having a good access control over the department and employees level. To improve this area, we can add extra layer of access of security at every level of employees' role and responsibility with back and audit logs, which will record all login and log out, and this will only be visible to IT department manager and director, which will again improve the security. Also, we
A very
can
big sentence to improve to security, like three line, one sentence, make it into two, break it into two.
okay, yeah. Also, we can implement every quarter password change policy, and no one can put their last three password, which will also improve the access governance of the company and totally reduce the IT breach.
So technically, what I would say is, this point makes sense, but don't be very precise. We can say we can implement
Mm-hmm.
frequent password change policy, because I think
Okay.
every quarter you're saying like 3 months, 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a decent time. Sometime maybe they have to change every month.
Okay.
And last three password definitely is not a good suggestion. Some
Mm-hmm.
companies have policies that they can't do last 30 password also,
Okay.
especially if you're working in cybersecurity.
Okay. We
Yeah.
can put like no one can put the past used password.
Yes, they should come
I
up with a best
guess
password.
I guess Google is trying to do now because I had an old email. I guess I was trying to change and I was putting I guess some old one he said you used in that time period. I guess Google or Meta, one of them they are doing I guess because I had
Oh,
a problem to change the password and they said you can't use it because you have used already.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then second point is introduction of real-time anomaly detection. Simulator should introduce real-time detections protocol as we found that we do not have such a system in place in the company when this breach happened. If we would have placed in before, we may have avoided this breach. We can install the system like Threat Locker and CyberGuard, which enables employees to send approvals to access any files or software to install.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Then benchmarking. We can also compare with our competitors IT strategies and try to do something similar with implementing more security into the company, which will allow us to know what other companies are doing to avoid such a breach like IT and cybersecurity related. Also, by comparing, we will know that where we are lacking and where we need to add extra protection. What protection? Okay, I guess this is maybe something I don't need to write. I guess what we can do best to protect ourselves. I guess so this
Right.
is.
So you can say benchmarking with the best in the industry and outside the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this
Okay.
was the third point. Now
Mm-hmm.
fourth is training. Yeah.
Training. Simulator also provide the training to their employee by doing quarter webinar, sending phishing mails. This is quarterly webinar is just for this. Yeah, I'm not
Don't put any precise thing.
okay.
Frequent is a good word. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
And
because
should
yeah,
provide. We should also provide, or simulator should provide. Also provide. So it looks like you are reporting that we are doing it.
okay. Yeah, I will. Yeah, next time I will keep in my mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sending phishing mail, setting up hacking and IT breach video training. By doing that, our employee will be more aware of the situation and would try to avoid being hacked. And if someone is doing breaches, will stop by knowing the consequences of the breaches.
So what we can say also, we can also provide the training to our, not their employees. You are not an outsider, right?
No.
Our employees.
Mm-hmm.
For
Yeah.
example, doing frequent webinars
Yeah.
on the recent threats, sending phishing emails to see if they have or testing them,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
can come up with the videos
Mm-hmm.
mandatory to watch.
Yeah.
So same thing, just improvise.
Yeah,
Last
because
one, yeah,
I came up with this idea because in my company, as I was saying in another sessions as well, like what they do is they send us a videos as well, like video links every month. We need to watch some like a series type of video where they have already suited like scenarios and all and what to do, what not to do, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes videos. And sometimes we get like frequently get phishing mails, and if we click it, then they take us to the training portal and then we need to watch again the video and do some other exercises. This is how I write it down this.
okay, okay, it's good. So if
Yeah.
you're writing from your own company, it's easy. You don't need to remember new things.
Yeah.
Let me read the last one. Independent IT audits. We can also arrange monthly, quarterly external IT audits through phishing mails. Doing a surprise simulation of breach will be an eye-opening for us on how good the bad IT infrastructure and where to improve our system. Also, we can hire some white hat hackers to try hack our IT system, which will also give an idea how our firewalls and other layers of protection is doing. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, that's it. The next task too.
So this was 40%. You have done 5, but the
Mm-hmm.
quantity can be improved. So overall, its second one is good. First one is also good.
Mm-hmm.
The small improvements.
Okay. Yeah. No
You
worries.
are
I will
in the
yeah.
right direction. I believe it can be even better, don't put a lot of filters when you're writing. It looks like sometimes you're overthinking.
Yeah.
Because you're starting with one point, like the one sentence that went too big. You started with one, and within that sentence, you have hundreds of thoughts.
Yeah. No worries. Thank
Overall,
you.
a good attempt.
For first part, I was quite confused, but now after seeing other students and again other students' questions and answers, it will help me to improve my writing as well. So thank you for everyone. Yeah, thank you.
Definitely, yeah. Okay, who is next? Pallavi? Who will say the next? Okay, Pallavi is still to do. Shiva,
Yeah, Musba.
can you share, please? I hope this approach is helping, because it should not be only for the student who is sharing the mock. Everyone should get benefit with that. So you can ask the student, what they have done, how they have done it, or you can give suggestion. I believe this can be improved in this way. Okay, it should be more of a discussion.
Okay,
Right.
Musba, can you see the screen?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, Musba, two things I wanted to make it here.
But I can't see the file. Go to that tab where you have your answer. I can just see that Google Meet screen.
Show the screen anyway.
Yeah, your screen. Now go to that particular tab. Did you open your answer?
Yeah, open it. Second. Test. Now you can see.
Yes, I can see the screen. Yes.
The Word document. Okay. So, Musba, two things. After the exam, last time I'm writing it. So there are spelling mistake is heavy. So one good thing what I did from the beginning, I wanted to be very honest here. I'm
Sorry,
following the exam approach.
Shiva, can you zoom in a little bit? I can't see it properly. Thank you. Can you zoom in into the document? I can't see the writing.
Yeah. This one. You want me to zoom in, right?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah, Ms. Bharat, back to the point. So I've just used with the exam pattern, literally. So I just put 59.59. I started writing the, open the document. I writing. So of course I had faced a lot of challenges. Maybe it will overcome. Probably I can overcome that by writing more mocks. Next 2-3 days.
Yeah. So spelling mistakes. The problem, what is happening now is most of us, firstly, we don't type so much, and if you're chatting on WhatsApp, automatic suggestion comes up. So it's rarely we type anything complete, any word completely, right? So that's the problem. So we need to be, being a little conscious with some of the spelling, especially. Or what you can do is you can come up with some shortcuts sometime if you feel like that particular word can repeat so many times. Instead of writing Cewmlator, let's say you have written Cewmlator first, you can write like CM, or instead of that, you just write we, us. That also
Something like that.
Okay, continue.
So maybe the first question, it's about evaluate foreign against a cyber breach of IT system constituting to be strategic importance. So the below may evaluation on the two topics on for and against the cybersecurity breach to be considered as a matter. So first is reputational risk. Cewmlator being a top leader in EV industry with a great legacy in sustainability enhancement, long-term strategic objectives. So we focus on continuous innovation and sustainability as per mission. This cyber breach needs to be considered the key priority since it can create impact of data theft, automation technology loss, battery enhancement technology loss, and this would lead to losing the reputation of Cewmlator as not protecting our digital assets in a better form. And the board was not taken appropriate steps to protect it. So this definition will impact among our most of the stakeholders, including employees, government, clients, suppliers, and bank.
Okay.
Second is impact of strategic objectives. As Cewmlator being continuously focusing on constant innovation, enhancing sustainability with the high quality product delivery, most of our innovation relies on battery enhancement, which is solid state battery or sodium-type battery technology. Auto drive method technology may chance to get stolen if not invoking efficient digital security, which can protect our digital assets. One primary responsibility for board of directors is to ensure protecting the shareholders' value and trust by acting in efficient and independent. This rates may impact our long-term strategy objectives, which align with our missions. Being the world better place by providing desirable sustainable motor vehicles. The board is responsible to protect digital assets by appointing CISO or IT director who could manage digital security and IT control, asking with the governance.
Did you review your answer once it is done?
No.
Okay, that is very important. I hope everyone understand why we are saying that, because small improvements can be done, and that's the reason I'm asking you to read now, because once you read, you yourself can see there are some small silly things that can be improved.
So actually, it is creating larger of different. So when I'm reading it. Perception is different. If I'm reading it now with you, it's different.
Yes.
So
it's not just the spelling mistakes. Maybe the sentence itself can be changed.
Correct.
Little bit polish is required. Your points are correct, but the polish is very important. We cannot submit like this. Maybe you should have written one sentence less here. Impact strategy. It's a very big paragraph. One sentence you remove it and use that time to improvise the previous sentence.
Sure.
Content-wise, you are correct, but the communication in CIMA exams, in a way, they are testing our writing skill also.
Correct.
Isn't it? Okay.
Sure. The next one is regulatory risk. Regulatory risk. The Pakistan government emphasis on safeguarding the digital assets by invoking better digital cybersecurity control in place. Cewmlator being a top leader in the industry is responsible to protect the digital assets by aligning with IT governance and emerging of EV initiative with the low emission objectives. The lack of protecting against cyber attack creates a laziness impression on the management. Any impact that creates a financial strategy or governance, it may impact the government and regulators as well. The government may face that we might focus much on sustainability and economic growth to Tesla. This bridge could impact of losing the contract, accessing the production model, which can be deviated from the schedule. This creates the impact for government economical and sustainability very well.
Okay. So just the same improvement. Otherwise, you are going correct.
Okay.
Maybe you can make it little. Maybe one sentence less also is fine. Okay, quantity is good. So now you're moving to the fourth point, shareholder confidence. So all of these are in favor.
No, actually, this is for and against, right?
Yeah. So the first point, just go up. Regulatory risk. So this is in for, right? We are in.
Yeah, actually, so why we need to have that? So that's why I'm asking. So because of these are the issues we need to have consider as strategically important. Maybe I wish to apply the against.
So go back to the question.
Yeah.
So the question says for and against.
For and against. Okay.
Sorry, it was 50-50 Divesh. Because I think in the answer I only confused. Yeah, you are correct. So here it is coming back to the point. You need a balance of both strategic objectives. You are saying impact on strategic objectives, right? So this is in favor that it should be a strategic matter, right? That's what you are trying to convince. Then same thing with the regulatory risk. Then shareholder confidence is also in favor, isn't it?
Yes, actually, what happened is against I missed it.
How we can miss this here? This can cost us exam.
Exactly.
You were there in class, right? Last week.
Right.
We have discussed this. I was expecting an extraordinary answer from all of you because we have discussed this mock. Technically, you don't even need 60 minutes for this mock because we have discussed the question, we have discussed the answer also. We have come with the headers, not just the headers, we have discussed the points. So please change that. Okay.
Yeah, I will write it in.
I mean, not completely, just that point.
Sure.
Okay. Just go to the subtask B directly. So this shows that we have not reviewed. Therefore, reviewing the answer is very, very, very important. In exam, you have only 55 minutes. You miss one paragraph also in the worst case if you are writing very slow, it's fine. But go and review because there is a high probability mistakes like this can happen. We can get deviated from the points. If it is 50%, you have written only 4 paragraphs. If the decent quantity is fine, no need to write 5th one. But go back and read the question, come back and improvise your points, spelling mistakes, and just to give a clear or clarity of thoughts when you're writing, because our mind runs faster than we type. We feel like we have given all the information, but once we go back and actually read it, it's totally a different answer. Okay, no problem with the grammatical things and all, right? I hope understanding for this was clear. If you don't have time, you can even skip this introduction to mitigate the cyber attack risk. You can say these are the controls that can help. That's it. Make it one liner, few words.
Sure. Yeah.
And always bold and underline it. It looks good.
Sure.
Okay, please read.
So the reason, the question is recommend with raising the internal control that can be implemented to manage cyber risk in future. So, to mitigate the cyber risk, the government need to build and strengthen the internal control system, which can prevent organization from this attack. Reason for strengthening the internal control would be as below. Safeguard assets. All the digital assets and cyber assets are critical to our business success. As model leader in industry, EV industry, it's currently focused on technological upgrade. As hardware technology, solid state battery technology, and our station data are more vulnerable to get attacked through the cyber attack. To prevent this, we need to build such a strong internal control system which safeguard our assets and enhance our values among the shareholders and government. Market and regulators keep eye on our management decision over the securing the assets by investing on digital security and what is the amount we are investing towards it. This also adds value to how focused we are into enhancing our sustainability.
Okay. So technical wise, you are fine. This looks good. That's not a problem. Yeah. Next one, better operational effectiveness.
Better operational effectiveness. The internal control system start investing on the cyber threat and the loopholes of the incident. So the team was not only involved in analyzing the investigation of the incident, also emphasis over how the operation structure is being given in the organization towards securing the digital assets. This team can access the operational structure and report the challenges in the area of improvement that needs to be addressed to mitigate such risk. The team can report to audit committee directly and not to be biased and infected by the position level. These are cases small improvement in the operation structure would enhance the value creation of the organization, which includes more security, digital, and intellectual asset.
I had a point.
Yeah.
It's just maybe a point of improvement, but I don't know. In that whole paragraph, I didn't see anything referring back to the company, to Cewmlator. So maybe saying how it would benefit Cewmlator would be good. What do you think, Rizwan?
Yes, I was about to say that thing. So give an actual example about our business.
Okay.
Apply to the scenario. Give example as in the scenario. Give an example of a scenario. Why and how it will affect us. That application will improvise the quality.
Sorry, say again, which one? I mean,
For
real-time
example,
example you want to
in
tell
this last sentence, these are cases of small improvement in the operational structure would enhance the value creation in the organization. So you can say what small improvement we can do in Cewmlator and how it can help our operational structure. Instead of just giving a like this sentence, you can give a scenario. For example, if you have better security, then our patents can be more controlled and we'll have less
something like
or less problems or less issues which will delay our production of the cars, and our manufacturing is in different countries, so therefore our operational operation is already complex. We have to manage political risk and so many things, right? As we have complex operations with our supply chain and uh, or we can say our supply chain across different countries, so having this better control will reduce the problems. Are you getting the point?
Yeah.
Rather than giving it generalized, give it
generally, yeah. Instead of
exactly.
giving generally, okay. Sure.
Instead of
What
saying-
actually I said in this bar, the thing is, I little bit struggle to include the reason. Even I just wanted to talk about that with you. Maybe I need to read it again and again the every scene, and maybe
It looks like we have rushed a little bit. When you're writing, I can see you rushed. You wanted to complete it faster. So you have achieved the quantity and somewhere the quality has been missed.
maybe I'll focus on that.
Yeah, please.
Third is retain the reputation. Cewmlator is one of the top leader in EV motor industry with a considerable amount of market share. We are the first company moved to EV and focus much on emission control, reduced environmental switching to EV manufacturing alone in 2022. Not only shareholders, even normal competent regulators pay more attention to our every moves as we are being pioneer in the industry with a great system standard. By not securing our data source, upgraded component design, and new battery technology, all the stakeholders might lose confidence on company performances, which include the board as well. This will create a reputational risk and impact our financial and sharp-based moment in short term. So the internal control team can involve in improvising the strategic, ethical, and operational gap, which can be strengthened towards success of the organization. So even here, we are saying that application can be internal control can do these are the things specifically, right? Instead of being general.
So this is a little better. Or we need to, like you talk about EV manufacturing and all of this. So it should be relevant to our business and our industry. And we don't need this much a big paragraph. If you can manage the time, it's fine. How much time you took for this one?
No, actually, task A took me 32 minutes.
32.
For task A, subtask A.
Okay.
Task B was actually 30 minutes.
Okay. That means your typing is good.
Yeah. So I go to the next paragraph. Next point.
Yes.
Reporting the incident. Every cyber breach would cause either financial loss or reputational loss of board. The board can coordinate with the audit committee to monitor the internal control process and its effectiveness. They do have a responsibility to report the below key metrics frequently to board to prove the control system are in place and being effective. Internal control team report the number of incidents, how frequent it was, time and how frequent it was, and the time we addressed any impact in operational or technical side, how effective the digital security system involved, and any observation on the existing structure to improve or enhance the control system to prevent cyber breach in future. So it's a kind of a reporting from the internal control.
Every cyber breach could cause fast. Yeah, so maybe Lil apply again to the scenario. Otherwise, it's
Some
good.
names, report name, something like that I can apply.
Yes.
So recommendation, the control team should have an audit committee. Maybe the control team audit committee should be unbiased.
Is not required. Maybe a conclusion can be there, but looking at the quantity you have written, even if you didn't do, is fine. Okay.
But actually, they asked for it. Right? Recommend.
Yeah. So recommend with reason. So recommendation was the headers what we put in, and reason was the explanation what we did. Did you get the point?
No, I didn't get it.
The recommendation was the headers what we have put in the previously, and reason was the explanation of the scenario. I mean, how it will have. Like safeguarding the asset is one of the recommendation. Better operational efficiency is another recommendation.
Yeah.
And in the conclusion, when we write recommendation, it's about making a decision.
Right.
So instead of putting a header of recommendation there, you can put like in conclusion. You can just say why having good internal control is important.
Okay.
But now your quantity is very good. Even 10% if you reduce is fine. You just need to work on the quality. First is understand the question properly, because silly mistake happen in subtask scale. Second is apply to the scenario, apply to our business and industry. This looks very generalized.
Got it.
Just to
Sure.
improve. Otherwise,
See, actually, Ms. Bar, that's what I'm saying. See, last time, compared to last time, now when I'm writing it, the task 2 and 3, I wrote today. Okay. So when I was applying, writing it, I'm literally facing struggle in applying the pre-seen and unseen and relative example here. Maybe will it come the more I write the mark, something like that? Last time I was pretty much comfortable when I was writing.
what do? You write the pre-seen summary in few pages and just see are you able to recall the points. So that will be a test. Or read the pre-seen and the industry analysis. Go through that.
That's what I'm planning for.
Summarize form.
Because I want to. Also, I want to read the, as I said, I want to read the pre-seen. I want to make a note everywhere. What are the area I can call on this point? Something like
So, have you done that Excel sheet analysis? I hope you have completed, right?
that. Yes, Mr. The last 3 is.
Yeah. So, if you have done that properly, this is for all of us. So, you know the stakeholders, you know the board. You can highlight. We don't have an I director. How you know that? Because we have done the SWOT analysis for our board, right?
Correct.
Mention the specific stakeholders. We know the stakeholder analysis. We have done the SWOT analysis. Talk about legal issues because we have done the pestle analysis. So every analysis what we have done is helping us to come up with the quantity. If you are struggling with the quantity or if you are struggling to apply the scenario, means our analysis was not good. That was the base. Irrespective of whatever question comes up, that base will 100% help us in the exam with the quantity as well and the quality as well. Okay. Just 2 things. Otherwise, it's fine. Okay. Who is going next? Anybody else who has done task 1? Jyotsna, have you done it? Jyotsna, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi. No, I haven't done the mock yet. Tomorrow I'll share it.
Okay, no problem.
I was busy in the month-end closures. That's the reason.
Okay. We need to, please do it tomorrow itself.
Yes.
Moving back to Said. Or Shiva, you can only continue task 2. It's fine. Otherwise, you have to come back. No, so it's better. We'll start with that. I hope this exercise is helping. Just 1 second. I hope this exercise is helping everyone. And after this, I'll try to give the marking plus a personalized feedback in written format also. Okay, so that will like a second layer. This is more of a discussion. Okay. Yeah. Just go to the question for a second.
Task 2.
Yes, please. So now, what they're saying, evaluate the proposal of acquiring cybersecurity company in Duxland. Locally, we are trying to acquire a business. Second, recommended reason the possible funding options for this acquisition. Both are very commonly repetitive. Go to the reference material. Just a second.
But actually, Ms. Bar, when it comes to this reference material, I'm saying, it was confusing for me.
It's okay. Trust Directs in Duxland cybersecurity with over 30 years operation legacy, deep strategic penetration, critical infrastructure, financial service, and advanced management. Okay, most 92% enterprise client retention rate, over 1,200 active deployments of its property platform with 43 grant patents valued at 38 to 42 million. 18 million ARR from long-term managed service and technical team of 85 certified engineers. So these are like all advantages. The firm offers a defensible high-value platform for cyber resilience. Its proprietary threat intelligence data span 15 years, enforcing its competitive edge and behavioral analytics and zero trust. Okay. So the first paragraph is entirely talking about how good the company is. Okay. This is talking about the why part of it, why we should acquire, why this is worth it. Amid success in planning and executive bandwidth, constraint trust is exploring a strategic sale. Now they are coming up with the sale. If they are coming up with the sale, we have a point to negotiate. Okay, sale can be of two types. One is like other party is not interested, you have to make them greedy and give them extra. But if the company is interested, like in this scenario, we have some points in our favor to do the negotiation. Are you getting the point? They are exploring a sale. I hope you guys noticed that point. Hostile takeover.
Yeah. I have one question for this reference material, but once you finish explaining, then I will ask you.
Okay, sure. Then with technical leadership committed to post-transaction continuity. So main thing was
just for a second.
Yeah.
Sorry to stop you. Can you say that how it is being called as hostile takeover? Trust layer exploring strategy. How do you say it's hostile takeover?
I'm saying it's not hostile takeover.
Okay.
Because here they said is exploring to strategic sale. So they themselves are looking to sell their business. So it is not, I said. Usually it is. But in this case, it's not. So we can get a discount. Another point I was saying is usually this kind of acquisition is done for the human resource. And that is also working in our favor. The technical leadership committed to post-transaction continuity. It's anonymized data lake source from 2.5 billion annual security events, holds 8 to 10 million licensing potential, government grade certifications and tier 1 client base, provide acquiring immediate regulatory clearance and market. This assets position the trusted layers high potential acquisition target with scalable IP, embedded revenue stream, and strategic relevance in a compliance-driven cyber risk landscape. So most of the points mentioned here is positive. Yeah.
Actually, what I understood in this incident, there are 4 points that I understood. It is a 30-year-old company, and it has a 43 patent valid, 43 granted patents, value for 48 million euro. And third point is, if you acquire this, we'll get a regulatory clearance and a market credibility easily.
Right.
Yeah. So and it's add some strategic relevance complaints to the organization. Only these 4 points literally I was able to understand when I was reading it. Based on this, I'm writing it. I've written.
Okay.
So however, the proposal of acquiring the cybersecurity company in Japan.
Yes. Okay. So, Divesh, one question before we move on. So we'll not read the question again for others. We'll go to the answer. So if you have any question regarding the understanding of the task, you can ask now. Yes, Divesh.
I got just little bit confused in the reference material, because if you can see the question, task B, they are asking for the fundraising schemes, like what type of fund we can provide them, like the options to raise a fund. Right. I can't see anything value of the money, like what are the final value or selling value they are expecting. Because when I make a point, I assume that company is not more than 100 million, because 18 million in ARR from 68% of total revenue. So 18 million is there. So maybe 50 million, maybe they charge with royalty. This is what I am thinking. So is that mindset correct? That's what I am thinking.
Mindset is correct. So maybe everything we are getting under that, as you said. Yes. Maybe 100 million will get everything. They have not given an exact number, but they have given few important numbers. So based on that, we can write.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
No, the same question I also had, Ms. Bhav. They don't have any the purchase value kind of consideration.
Yes. But It's in million, and if you see our financials, we have retained earning in billions. So I think just retained earning can be a good option if you have idle cash. How much cash we have in the bank? How many billion we have?
3.7. 3.7.
Right. So that itself can be used. Retained earning is not equal to cash, but bank is equal to cash.
Mm.
But actually, this is euro.
Sorry.
This is not a dollar. It's a euro.
Right. So euro and dollar. So it's, I believe, let's assume our dollar is equal to euro. I don't think we need to worry about that.
Yeah.
Maybe small difference. Even if we see like a US dollar, for example, assume like Dutchland dollar is equal to US dollar. US dollar is almost like 80 and 90 to Indian rupees, and this 102. So 10% difference is there. Not much. Okay. Go to the answer, please. I hope question is clear with everyone.
Yes, yes. Very, very straightforward question. Yeah.
So, evaluate the proposal of acquiring cybersecurity content. That's okay. So again, here safeguarding the asset. The first task A, safeguarding the asset. Cewmlator is one of the leading EV manufacturing protection market share in the industry for the great metrics. The success not only based on sales volume, also driven by technology innovation, component designing, battery upgrade technology, and so on. This proves the board of directors have the responsibility to protect the digital assets to safeguard from cyber threats, since current EV motor market is so vulnerable to impact. This would be aligning with our mission as making the world better place by providing desirable and sustainable motor vehicles. We can invest in cyber security to protect our assets and technologies from the cyber threat. Trust layer is being the industry for the last 30 years with notable record and client retention. This acquisition make it shows strong in protecting our digital assets. Make us strong in protecting our digital assets.
So what was the first question asking? What was the exact line?
Evaluate the proposal.
Right. So evaluate means we have to. We can use SAF model. I think SAF would have been a good option here to use suitability, acceptability, feasibility, or
it's what actually I've done.
Or you can just use as advantage, disadvantage also. Technically, we have to see if it is good for our overall business. So safeguarding the asset, okay, makes sense. Second is aligning with the values.
With the values. Cyber is becoming serious threat to any industry, especially motor vehicles, since they moved into digital enhanced platform. To sustain the position in the market, we need to take necessary steps to mitigate the cyber risk. This approach will ensure that Cewmlator, aligning with our values, has constantly innovating, enhance sustainability, and delivering the high quality products. Pay attention to need of the client. This acquisition will make Cewmlator so strong in cyber breach and ensure the component design, product digital team, and upgraded battery technologies under all our intellectual are protected.
Okay. So
I feel like slightly could have been improved this paragraph.
Sorry?
I feel like this paragraph should have been a little bit improved.
If you review, you should have done small. Ideally, as I said, SAF can be used, but indirectly you have used. When we say about suitability, we talk about our values again.
Correct.
Acceptability, we talk about the shareholders, stakeholders. We have talked about the stakeholders. Okay. But it's fine. You're going correct.
That improves shareholder confidence. Any protection against a cybersecurity breach will add value and give impression, as we are taking cyber threat as a serious matter. Any cyber breach not only impact the brand but also impact the revenue, which increase the cost, impact the cost, competitive disadvantage, and sharp-based volatility. This trust layer add value to our further to our organization in terms of immediate delivery clearance and market credibility to us. This would improve our shareholder confidence and make the chapter stable. So what I did is I've used from the unseen. What is the quality of them? If I acquire them, what is the benefit we get?
Right. Instead of shareholders, you should have put stakeholders, because we have clients, we have vendors, they are also concerned. and you should have linked this to the previous. So we don't know about the future, what next task is, but you know the past. So this can be a good solution to the previous cyber attack that happened. You can link to the previous task if you want. Maybe a sentence. That's also a good way.
Sure. Again, actually, these are the areas.
Like a response. Why we are doing this? Because we have faced a cyber attack, right? We failed to use that, our current resources. Therefore, we are acquiring new resources, new company, isn't it?
Correct.
So application can be, and maybe some more examples to the business. Or you can say we don't have an IE director, you can bring in. Our board is not balanced. Lot of points you can bring in. So application to the business, same points I have for you, like the first task. Okay, continue.
Sure. Then high cost involved. Cewmlator has well structured and strong financial metrics, though it has much positive and few negative to address in the long term. Board of Directors has the responsibility to do the feasibility check on financial settlement to avoid trust organization. We have strong financial backup by 22.3 billion retained earnings, 3.7 billion liquidity immediately available. To pay the purchase consideration, we need to come up to an agreement that each mode of funding would be appropriate to us, since it required high capital to invest, and furthermore for operational implementation as well. Board has to plan accordingly and choose the right mode of financing, right mode of finding the funding option to support.
So overall, it's not too high for us. We have the money, but obviously it's not
What
cheap.
I thought was little bit high, since they didn't mention anything about settlement, maybe the purchase consideration.
But one hint for you and everyone is, if you have the next question about finance, no, don't talk too much about finance in the first task. So you don't have the points in the next one. It will get repeated. Instead of finance, you should have talked about the resources here. Like, do we have the leadership to manage them? Right? Do we have experience? Other kind of resources.
Right.
That should have been a better point. It's fine. So what is your conclusion?
So then
Okay, we have
operational challenges. Yeah. So we need to build a 15.
Okay.
So operational challenges, we need to build a sufficient planning which consists of operational implementation, staff training, R&D session, and other infrastructure. All of them should align with our mission and vision and values. Trust layer acquisition must deviate from us, from our key focus of motor vehicle operation. This deviation impact our shareholder confidence and impact of operation continuity in production. So board of directors should have proper succession plan as how better this acquisition will enhance our values and not impacting our operation structure. Also, we need to ensure our sustainability doesn't impact us, since we are taking more protective steps to enhance our sustainability values by reducing emission by 11% and vehicle by 6%.
Okay.
Recommendation is cyber breach is a serious threat, but board of directors can come up with proper analysis and due diligence. Succession planning would ensure our digital assets are protected and long-term strategic goals are ensured.
So what to do? Acquire it or not? Hello?
Okay.
It should be clear whether you are in favor or not to acquire this business.
We can go ahead. Yeah, we can go ahead and acquire, but we have to do these are the steps. Proper analysis.
According to me, it looks a very good deal, and we should acquire the business.
Yeah.
Recommendation. It doesn't look like a recommendation.
Yes.
Board of directors is asking you to come up with analysis, and we are saying board of directors to do the analysis.
Right. We can maybe I should put add a line like we can go ahead and acquire, but subject to board should do all this analysis and due diligence.
Yes. Yes.
Sure.
Any points, others? So this way also we can answer this point, evaluate the proposal, a very commonly asked question, or SAF model also you can use, but make sure we do the recommendation towards the end. Yes, Divesh.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask, because in my point I use SAF. That's what I wanted to know. How can I identify if they ask in exam, like evaluate the proposal? Should I always go for chef, or like how, like depend, like that's where I sometimes get confused as well.
Right. So whenever they ask about evaluate the proposal, evaluate the project, anything with the future, we are going for investment, buying anything, SAF model will work 99% of the time, or even 100% of the time it will work. But don't use SAF model if they start any question with evaluate. If they say evaluate the risk, don't use SAF model there. It is about the proposal and the project. Technically, the SAF model is to see if what we are doing is aligning with our business. Like our
Okay.
stakeholder, our resources, our mission, vision, values, our
Mhm.
current position.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. Yeah, I will note that. Yeah.
Okay. Subtask B quickly.
The question is the funding. Recommend with reason the possible funding options for this acquisition. So, task B, I have given my opinion on the possible funding options to proceed with trust layer acquisition as below. Internal funding. Cewmlator has capability to pay the purchase settlement to trust layer, but proceeding with internal funding is one of the best options. Our current retained earnings are 42.3 billion, which has the potential to settle the amount. Choosing the when I was writing this, I don't know what amount I have to pay. So
Right. You can mention it's unclear the exact amount we need to pay.
But by reading the answer, maybe mistake, like I didn't understand.
Question they have not given, so you can start. Maybe in the interactive, I have given my opinion of the possible funding option can be used. As you know, it's unclear the final amount we'll be paying.
Okay, something like that. Make a note. Okay. Sure. So choosing the internal funding could be easy process to proceed, less time consuming. Also, it created confidence among the shareholders. As such, strong financial metrics we have. Though it has some positive things, there are few areas might impact as dividend payout may impact as most of our retained earnings will be transferred settling the acquisition. This part actually.
This is wrong. Most of the retained earnings will not. We have very good. Definitely, it's
I
not
was not sure.
taking away a lot of billions.
And that's what I was not sure what's the amount. Okay. Maybe I didn't see
But
that.
there we are talking about millions, and what we have is in billions. Maybe in the exam they might come up with the billion, not a million. So it will make more sense. But in this scenario, if it is in million and billion, that is a massive amount we have. So just see the M and the B. Okay.
Got it. Sure. Also, it gives less saving to invest in any future innovation to be in short time. So that's a part for internal funding. The next one is debt financing. To support the settlement, we can offer bank borrowing, which is easy to proceed and less time to take. This funding option would preserve the ownership and shareholder dilution option among the share dilution option among the shareholders. The interest payment would attract tax benefit, which adds further to our profitability. Also, we need to consider that our current borrowing is 20 billion, which led to debt equity ratio of 0.7, slightly high compared to our industry leaders. Our finance cost is 1.6 billion, which is 6% increase from last year. This gives us the low ceiling. We have low ceiling to attract additional borrowing for any strategic long-term investment in future.
Okay.
And the rights issue, issuing the shares to existing shareholders at special discount rate will attract potential investment from shareholder. This funding option would strengthen the equity position and build reputation in the market if it becomes successful. It reduces the gearing ratio. Our current equity is 0.5 billion, no changes compared to last year. If you choose this option of funding and become successful, it will prove that our shareholders are being confident with our strategy, long-term objectives, and decision making. This issues is considered as a time-taking process comparatively.
And what's the final recommendation? So wherever
recommendation is
it has to be made. In this question, we have both the decision to be made, whether to go ahead or not. And in the second one also about which funding option you believe can be taken.
the next one is joint venture. Probably can add if anything is working. So we can attract fund through joint ventures of supplier universities. This is also one of the best methods in recent times. This proves less dilution in ownership. We can sign contract with the supplier as the supplier could extend the service to suppliers and universities to protect the digital assets and platform. Supplier can evaluate this option since the logistics system also being involved in motor vehicle industry with Cewmlator. It has a potential threat to cyber attack. It has a potential threat to cyber attack. Universities can make use of this arrangement, and in return, Cewmlator can support their student for internship at better prices.
Maybe it's possible, but again, confidentiality and all of this can come in. If we have money and we are such a big company, I think we are not the just biggest in Dutchland. We are one of the biggest in the world. So maybe it's better we do everything in our own, isn't it? Rather than just getting some support from the university, we want to share it. It will be an extra headache for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that can be in the recommendation. So what's the recommendation?
But actually,
Yeah.
okay. I have one question. So what I read it in one of the articles, there was one real-time example that supplier system got impacted through cyber attack that was impacting the company. I think it was in Cattle or I don't know which company it is.
Okay, please share that.
Supplier,
Yeah.
Yeah, probably I'll share it. So that aspect I reckon this. Okay. So the recommendation is Cewmlator can opt for hybrid method by choosing 50% from debt and 25% from retained earnings and 25% from joint ventures. This option ensures that better funding composition and would not impact the dilution of ownership, higher finance cost, and maintain the debt equity ratio in better form.
I mean, this recommendation can be correct. However, we have good amount of money. Why we want to make so much complex?
Yeah, correct. Again, I'm saying, was writing this.
Make it simple and justify why you are saying that. Maybe if this is the amount, I mean, closer to that, maybe retained earning can be used and just justify. Or if you're going with debt, go with the debt. Or maybe just go with 2 things. 3 things can be, making it more complex. And we don't have enough data to justify why we are coming up with 3 different things, right? Do we have any data? No. And we are just putting one sentence and living. How we are justifying that point? We need something to back up. Neither from the pre-scene we have anything, neither in the question, neither we have highlighted anything here.
There are two things from our company. The last joint venture, why I'm asking is we are closely working with suppliers as well as universities. I think 2 of our directors are working in universities.
With the universities. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But we need to explain that.
Correct. Okay, in the joint ventures, what I need to explain.
Honestly, we don't need to complicate life for ourselves. Make it easier. We'll not have enough time in the exam. This 1 hour will go like 5 minutes. It will be very fast. So do something which is easier for us to explain. For example, just an exam tip. I am comfortable. I feel like retained earnings and the debt option both can be used. But I feel like I am more confident in writing with debt option. Then I will write debt. Because when I'm in exam, my only aim is to pass.
Yeah.
Getting the point.
But actually, we should make it like which one is the better option for us, right? Instead of we are comfortable with option. For example, last in somewhere in the other one, we cannot go for a debt itself because already we are in very high in. Debt
Now
equity
I
ratio.
believe all are correct. We have a lot of money. We have good gearing. We have good retained earnings. Our financial position is really good. So it doesn't actually matter what we
Cewmlator
can.
is financially strong.
Yes. Josna have some point to add here, Josna.
Yeah, hi. Actually, a few questions like basic questions like this is like, I want to know whether this acquisition is changing the trust that cybersecurity company as a simulator later, or it will continue the operations with the same name.
Can you repeat the question, please?
This acquisition proposal, will that company name get changed, or the company will run like that only?
So when we acquire, technically it should be part of our business.
Yeah, but will it be like a sister concern and still run the business in that own name, brand name, or that will completely get converted as a simulator?
I think it will be completely part as a simulator.
Okay. If that is possible only in case of merger.
No, merger and acquisition. Merger, maybe we can come up with a new name. In acquisition, you have 100% control, whatever you want to do it. And big company like us, obviously, will want them to work under our brand.
Okay. So my what's going in my mind is like, instead, because again, this is completely a new service line to our industry, so that we don't know how to manage and what kind of challenges will come in the company, even though the business is very, even though we have a big capacity to buy that company, even that company is having maybe like little bit like a name change that we can make it, because that is also a number one tier one companies that it is handling, and too much of reputation is there in that, too much of goodwill and the license patents, everything is there. So again, too much of compliances that we may have to follow, because if it comes to our company name. So I'm feeling like it's a too much of complexity than gaining the synergy of this acquisition. What is the issue on this?
I mean, technically, we don't need to go in all that area. Remember, this is a response. We have a cyber attack we have seen in the previous question. First task. Now this is a response. We are trying to solve this.
Yes. So
we have experience. We have cybersecurity that failed. So we are just upgrading it. We are not having zero experience like that. Even that scenario is not there. We do have experience. We are just upgrading. And how we are managing that complexities and all, in the reference material, they have said the board of directors of that companies, technically the founders, they'll be staying with us. So it will be taken care. The only thing is the ownership will change from there to ours.
Yeah, ownership is changed, but how about the company name getting a branded for even for the cybersecurity license?
Yeah, so we are not buying them for their business. If we are buying them for their business, maybe we'll think about that name and everything.
Yeah.
But if you are buying them for our use, we don't care. We are such a big group, right? We are global leaders. So for us, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, and to be honest, the points are correct. However, this kind of technicalities CIMA will not ask. They usually ask this topic only. So we need to assume that every point is correct.
I got this question because they are asking whether this in the first itself proposal. I mean, like, can we acquire this proposal? Means like we can acquire because we have a problem in our this one. But other than synergy, also we need to think of right when we are investing in a deal.
Right. So
how value addition is coming.
Yes.
We can address the problem of cybersecurity for sure, but they also mentioned in the unseen, stating that they have a manufacturing industry, advanced some licenses, some technology that they built in cybersecurity for our industry as well. We have, in that way, we have synergy, but what I am thinking, like, what is the other side? Like, we also have to we'll also become responsible for these kind of service activity also if it get added to our simulator.
Yes, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
If you feel like that, your conclusion can be against that. You can say this is a good deal, but we don't see enough synergy to invest so much money.
Yeah, this is what my intention. Maybe like 50% synergy is there.
Therefore, we are evaluating. So if
Sorry?
you think that there are negative points and if it is not aligning with the suitability, feasibility, maybe acceptability is not achieved. This is fine, but how? Okay, one good point you can add here is okay. All these advantages make sense, but what about profit? How much profit will be impacted by this?
Hmm.
If there is zero impact on the profit, then not worth to invest so much money. Therefore, we are against this proposal. You can say that.
Okay. And it is not there in our mission and values also. For cybersecurity is there.
Then
But
indirectly they said we want to be the top, and if you
Ah.
want to be top, we have to manage this risk. So indirectly, I would say yes, it is part of that.
they wanted to be in the motor sector only now, Miss. If I'm not wrong. Can you
Yeah.
correct me?
Josna, what we are trying to do here, we are not going into new line of business. This is not product development, not market development. This is
Ah.
just to continue our EV manufacturing. That's it. This
Yeah,
is more of a risk management step. Therefore, we are acquiring that business, not to have a different source of revenue.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you say that way, we are aligning with our mission, vision, and values.
Okay.
Anything else?
Okay, Ms. But if I write it like the other side, will there be any negative marking for me? Like I just I felt it very strongly. Like okay, we can get the cybersecurity services from them, but how about the other services that he is giving to the other side people? That also will become a responsible under our name. I mean, like it will come under one umbrella. So we are also servicing. We are not stopping the services for the other clients now.
Got it. That is correct. Definitely. I mean, every situation can have a different perspective. So I'm not saying you to go in positive. You can definitely see that it is not feasible, you can say. Or as you rightly said, this point you can highlight. It will help us, but what about their clients, which they already have? It might become our responsibility. And if it is coming under our name, then maybe our brand can get affected.
Yeah.
So maybe after acquisition, we need to make them work only for us or focus only on our business or want to continue the current time.
If this is the, yeah.
That's a good point. Yes.
Thank you.
Any other question? Okay.
No.
Sayed, can you share your second point, second answer?
Okay, can I answer it?
Sorry, Shiva.
You want me to stop sharing it?
Yeah, we'll do second one, then we'll come to 3.
Yeah, sure.
Or maybe we can just do second now. And for the third, I have to give an individual. You will get individual feedback also for your answer. So don't worry with that. This is just for a discussion. Yes, sir. Oh, sorry, I have to share your mark, right?
Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you.
I hope the question was clear.
Yes, this one was a bit more. This one was a bit more easier to understand.
Are you comfortable to read or you want me to read?
If you could do it, that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay. This is about evaluate the proposal. Okay, 60%. The proposal to acquire Trust Layer X presents Cewmlator with a strategic opportunity to strengthen cybersecurity posture following the recent IT breach. So this is exactly for our business, and we are linking this to the previous. And this is what I was saying. Following the recent IT breach, the application is very important. Okay, given the company's increasing dependence on strategic platforms for vehicle design, supply chain integration, data-driven innovation, cyber resilience has become a critical enabler of business continuity and stakeholder trust. You know, if any question comes on acquisition, especially with cyber, you can write a lot from your general knowledge, basic understanding. And that's what you did say. Good job. The action could transform cybersecurity from a reactive control function into long-term strategic ability while aligning with regulatory focus on governance and enterprise. Okay. You have not used SAF, but this is also fine as long as we cover the important points. The strategic fit is nothing but suitability, whether it is suitable for us or not. So acquiring, if you're a little confused or if you're think like a lot of time is going this business, so first time you can write trust layer X, and next time in the bracket you can just write TL. Then you can refer this as a TL. So you can just say acquiring this company, because sometimes they'll give weird names. Typing that can be difficult. It can take away a few minutes. Like here you have put trust layer X, you can just put TL or TLX. Then every time you mention that company as TLX, or this proposed company, that is also fine, or this company. So acquiring this supports Cewmlator's strategic objectives of technological leadership and sustainable growth in the EV industry. The firm's 30-year operational legacy, 43 patent technologies, and proprietary Sentinel mesh platform provides access to scalable, defensible IP, which is increasingly vital for differentiation in the connected vehicle ecosystem. Okay, this is good understanding of the reference material and good use of reference material. To be honest, in an ideal situation, you can get half of the answer from the reference material. Like in this case, especially for the subtask A, half of the answer was there, especially the positive points. Moreover, acquiring a domestic Dutchland-based firm, that's a very good point. We need to see where they are based. Imagine if they are international, no, the risk will be very higher. So they are locally available and we are a developed country. That also helps. With national industrial policy, prioritize and facilitates regulatory compliance under local data security standards. Okay. Risk and governance implications. The acquisition significantly reduces Cewmlator's exposure to cyber threats and governance lapses. TL extensive threat intelligence data set covering 2.5 billion annual events can predict analysts to anticipate and utilize attacks before disruption occurs. The acquisition also ensures immediate access to government-grade certification and robust internal control environment essential for restoring board and shareholders' confidence after the previous breach. By embedding these capabilities, Cewmlator can strengthen its 3 lines of defense model: enhance regulatory compliance, align with risk appetite, productive governance. Okay. Financial aspect, or we can say resources, because in resource we have to go beyond finance, like human resource, technical resource, experience. So maybe resources will be a better head. Okay. Financially, and especially when you have other subtasks with the finance, don't write finance here again, because they are put it separately. Financially, the acquisition appears justifiable given the tangible intangible return trust layer generated approximately 18 million euros in annual recurring revenue from long-term managed service contracts, which account for 68% of total income, which helps cash flows stability and predictable returns. So this can here you can highlight how it can give us a small source of revenue. Maybe it is a different industry, but it's fine. We can retain their clients. We can have some cash flow. Maybe whatever we are paying them, we can recover from the profits of this company itself. And what benefit our business Cewmlator will get, that is an advantage, right? The firm's IP valued at 38 to 42 million adds substantial balance sheet strength and further monetization potential through licensing and cross-industry partnership. Good point. Through the acquisition cost may be significant, though the acquisition cost may be significant, then it could yield long-term synergy through reduced incident cost, improved investor confidence, and lower insurance premiums, and linked to stronger cyber resilience. Maybe you would have added some points which is not very positive, like inexperience, or maybe the cost, or we might not know why they're selling. If everything is so good, why they're interested to sell? This raises a question, Are you getting the point? If everything
Yes,
is so
that makes
good,
sense.
why
Yeah.
they're selling it? Maybe that point you can highlight, just to create an argument. In conclusion, the acquisition of this represent a strategically sound investment for Cewmlator? For us, don't mention the company name because this is an internal communication, right? Offering both defensive and growth-oriented benefits, it directly addresses the weakness exposed by cyber breach, enhances resilience, and embeds cyber governance into firm's strategic fabric. Financially diversify revenues and creates value through property tech and stable service contracts. Okay, good one. Maybe we can add an industry example if we have real world. Actually, I got some suggestion about the industry examples. I am working on that. I'll share that with you guys. So maybe you can copy paste that industry example also wherever it is linked to the same topic.
Could I give an example of, I don't know any companies that's acquired a cybersecurity company, but I can give an example of a recent cybersecurity incident, such as Land Rover, Range Rover issue, Land Rover, Jaguar issue, or even M&S cybersecurity issue that they had.
Yeah, Land Rover issue is good because they are from the same industry.
Okay.
You can mention that. Again, that is a justification because it's common in our industry, like what recently happened with Land Rover, you can say.
Yes, that's a good point. Yes, I'll use this one.
Any questions? So nothing much to change. Others, any question?
No.
Okay. Then reason with possible funding, financing the acquisition at TLX valued approximately, okay. Equity financing. Cewmlator could consider equity financing through a rights issue or private placement by institutional investment. Why you want to do a private placement?
So we don't use our own cash. I know we've got 3.7 billion, but that's just an option.
No, rights issue can be done through our own shareholders. Why private placement and institutional investor is not required? Because they will ask a lot of discount. What is our current share price? What is our exact share price?
105 or 100, above 100.
Let's say 100. If it is 100, if you're doing rights issue, we might give 10% discount, 20% discount to the current shareholder. Let's say 80, 85.
Okay.
But if you're going to the institutional investors, they are like bulk buyers. They'll ask to give it for 50. And if you give them for 50, our share price will fall down to 75.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around. I thought we can give our shareholders discount, but then when it comes to institution investors, we don't give them much discount, as much as our own shareholders.
No.
So it's the other way around. We give them more.
Yeah. Because why they will buy? Institutional investors they will take that, then they will sell it to the mutual fund investors. So anytime the sale is happening like B2B, like B2B sale, other businesses buying, they'll always buy at a cheaper price.
Okay, got it. Yes.
So no need to mention that. And we are giving good dividend. Our share price is performing good. So why not shareholders will be happy to pay that much money?
So I have one point to come up here.
Yes, sir.
The reference material, they said in second paragraph first line, amid succession planning and executive bandwidth constraints, with the leadership, with the technical leadership committed to post-transaction continuity. So which means the executives may not be able to continue, the board may not be able to continue. But the technical management or maybe leadership only can continue after the creation. That is one of the drawbacks, right?
Yes, we can talk about it. Do you want to link that to financing option?
No, not here. I'm saying because you were saying like all positive you mentioned. So negative probably you can call out means. So we can call out points.
Possible. Okay. So this approach avoids additional debt burden, thereby maintaining a low gearing level and preserving flexibility for future investment in R&D or reproduction. An equity issue also signals financial stability and long-term strategic commitment to stakeholders, especially given the reputational context. However, dilution of ownership and the time needed for regulatory approval are potential drawbacks, making the options more suitable. But it will reduce the EPS, earning per shares, isn't it? The share price can get affected. That you can hide it. Debt financing. So when we are talking about this, it's not just we are in favor. You have to talk about characteristics. So these are the positive. What is the negative? The earning per share will go down. The share price will definitely go down. Whether you are giving to them or current shareholders, we have to give discount.
So each option that you mentioned, so each heading, I have to give positive and negatives for.
Yes, technically the characteristics of that. We don't need to try hard to balance both. You don't need to balance.
Yeah.
The characteristic. Because every option will have some downside. Isn't it? Then debt financing via term loan or bond issue could provide faster access to fund. So technically, loan and bond can become two different options. Okay. Because if you're taking loan, you have to go outside and do it. And being a listed company, we can issue our own bond. But this way also fine. Similar strong cash generation and a recurring revenue base make it well positioned to service moderate borrowing interest. You can mention our gearing here. Improving post-tax returns and fixed return borrowing could hedge against future interest rate volatility. However, the board must assess the impact on gearing and interest cover ratios to ensure compliance with internal risk appetite and investors' expectations. Recommended approach. Just 2 points.
Yeah, I only did 2 points, but I guess I could split it, isn't it? Same issue I had in task 1.
Yes. So what you can do: equity finance 1, retained earning 2, loan 3, bond 4. You're getting the point? Equity,
Yes.
debt you have 2 options, then equity you'll have 2 options.
Yes, makes sense. Thank you.
Then you recommend. A hybrid funding structure would best serve similar strategic and financial interest, financing 60-70% acquisition through medium-term debt, complemented by 30-40% through retained earning or target equity issuance, would achieve optimal balance of cost efficiency, control and equity, and approach minimize dilution, controls healthy leverage ratios. Maybe here we can add, it's not mandatory, but if you are so confident about the answer, you can give a reference what is happening in the industry, what kind of funding usually done. So you can say it's very common in our industry to go with the debt. Or maybe you can say it's common in the EV industry to go with the equity. Why? Because banks are reluctant to pay us. We are very risky. Or they are reluctant to pay us at the normal rate. That point can also be added.
Yes.
Overall good, but the balance have little bit been disturbed here because they want to know more options. You are just giving them 2 options. You should have reduced the quantity and added some more options. All right. Any question? So number 3 task, I have to give you response individually, or if you guys want, maybe on tomorrow's session also we can do quickly before we go to the important topics. And those who have not done it, now you have got some more points. Please do it and share with me as soon as possible. And in 1 to 2 days, I'll give you the feedback.
Yeah, I have just for task subtask 2 for this question. What I am planning to write, I was just to let people know what I am planning to write. They will also see in the WhatsApp group. I will send it later. So I am planning to write bank loans, then equity share, then fixed asset leasing, combination of debt and equity, and right issue. Those are my points that I'm thinking to write.
I hope you can elaborate that all. Make sure when
Yeah.
you're putting a point, put some, let's say you have 2 points. So and you have to just put one out of that. So highlight the one you are easier to explain for you, or you are more
Yeah.
comfortable to explain.
Yeah, I got to. If I will, let me just show you quickly what I have already got points.
I can see you have shared on the group, right? The same thing.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah,
Yeah, I can see. It's fine.
yeah, no worries. Yeah,
So please do, and maybe you can improvise the first task also.
yeah, I will try. I will rewrite when I get time as well. Yeah.
Right. And to be honest, considering this as a first mock, all of you have done a very good job. I have seen students in the first mock, they take 4 hours, 4.5 hours, and half of the questions they have misunderstood. But I'm very happy. Honestly, I'm saying I'm very happy. The attempt you guys have made, none of you have misunderstood the question, and that gave me so much of happiness. Now the only thing is application to the scenario and reviewing it. That's it.
Yeah. Thank you. I will do that. Yeah.
And what Divesh wrote, what Sayed wrote, and even Shiva, the first task, it was above pass. That also I can say with guarantee. Above pass means the passing is too low, just 52%. We are targeting for good marks, but it was above that level. So we are on the safer side.
Yeah.
But in exams, you'll have different level of pressure, and sometime we are misreading. Some problems can happen due to nervousness, or maybe the experience was not good, the staff didn't treat you well, anything can happen. So we have to go considering, like, plan for the worst, right? Let's say for 50% we are targeting 5 paragraphs, so we should have time to write 6. So in exam we'll write 5. That level of preparation we should have. And especially this type of question, funding, SF model, internal control, cyber security, these are very common topics. You can use logic. So, and I am very sure at least one of this should repeat in the answer. I mean, in the exam. If that comes, you can just copy paste. You don't need to worry about anything. Just read the question, read the numbers. Copy paste means not 100%, maybe 90, 95%. 5% you just change the number, the company name, little bit change. And what we are doing tomorrow, the 50 important topics. From there also you'll get a lot of questions. So honestly, we have everything that is required to score good. The only thing that is, I will not say it's lacking, that needs improvement is the writing. The most important thing is you need to finish your answer in 55 minutes. I have seen students failing because of this mistake, especially those who failed by 2-3 marks, 79, 78, 77, 100% they would have passed if they review their answer. Because I'm just repeating the point, our thoughts in the mind run very fast. We think like, okay, I've written this point. But when you read, you feel like, okay, I have not done. And the percentage, we have not read. Or like Shiva in the first task, for and against. So like this, I remember one student, he did like this, just like Shiva, I think he just put one part of the answer. When he went for review in the last 5 minutes, he realized, okay, he is completely missing the other half. So in that last 5 minutes, he just changed the answer. And he passed. He got like, I think 84, 85. Otherwise, he would have 100% failed. Last 5 minutes helped him to score that marks. Any clear? Okay. So we can do both, and whatever questions you have, you can bring in, or obviously you can message me personally if you have anything. All right.
Sure.
Yeah.
So tomorrow we'll connect.
For your all guide.
Yes. Welcome, Divesh. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.